This would be a massive mistake if the Boston Celtics didn't convert Neemias Queta as their final roster spot. I know Brad Stevens has said that he wants to remain patient, but I truly believe that Neemias Queta is that guy to be the final roster spot. He's dominated in the G League, has had some spurts with this Celtics squad, and I truly think his versatility and the fact of his being a great depth piece could do a lot for the Celtics come playoff time. We'll be diving in on all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. Before we get into all of that Neemias Queta news, 78% of you guys are not subscribed. It would greatly appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. To the thousands of you guys who watch our daily Celtics content every single day and want to make sure you stay up to date, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as this is the place for you. But without further ado, let's dive in on this topic. Make sure to grab a snack, as it is going to be a jam-packed episode as we dive in looking at Neemias Queta needing to be the 15th man. Now, I know I've had a lot of videos on here talking about potential buyout guys, potential guys that the Celtics could look out and get, and I've kind of remained on a 50-50 slope on this. I kind of wanted Neemias Queta to remain in the G League and excel and trying to get a veteran-ready NBA player, but it seems like those guys aren't available, or if they were, the Boston Celtics were not going to get them. And it just seems like every day keeps going on and keeps going on that Neemias Queta is going to be that final and 15th roster spot. If we want to dive in looking at his stats for the Celtics this year, you might be questioning why I'm talking about him. Only averaging 5 points, 4 total rebounds, and point assists. Half assist on 61% shooting from the field and 75% shooting from free throw. That's because Neemias Queta is obviously on a two-way deal. He plays up with the Celtics, plays down with the Celtics, and he only gets some sporadic time when he truly is excelling or if the Celtics have some injury history. We've seen with the Boston Celtics that when they were on that Western Conference road trip, they had some injuries to Kristaps Porzingis, had some injuries to Kornet, and that's where Neemias Queta truly shined for the squad, kind of proving that he deserved to be on the roster. Putting up 2 double-doubles in that LA trip, it seemed like Neemias Queta was going to be a guaranteed guy for this rotation, and it looked like he was going to be progressing through that, passing possibly Luke Kornet at the time. But unfortunately for Neemias Queta, ever since that run, he hasn't been able to find his footing back in the NBA. He's had some stints here and there with the Celtics for some garbage minutes, but recently hasn't been playing. But he has been developing and playing very, very well in our G League. If you guys missed our video last Sunday where we broke down how Neemias Queta was breaking out, here's a little of a synopsis on how great he was performing on Sunday versus the Westchester Knicks. The Boston Celtics beat them by 30 points, and Neemias Queta was a major contributor to that. He was 9 for 11 from the field, 3 for 3 from the free throw, with a total of 15 rebounds, 5 offensive, 10 defensive, 5 assists, with a total of 2 steals and 4 blocks to finish with 21 total points. And a guy like Neemias Queta is dominating in the G League. He's been a runner-up for G League MVP, and he's clearly proving to this Celtics fans and to the Celtics squad that is watching him that he is too dominant for the G League. Now, obviously, he's had some issues while he's been in the NBA. I'm not going to lie. He's had some great flashes being that energy guy, and I truly think he is kind of that vertical threat and that offensive rebounding threat that the Celtics did lose with trading away Robert Williams. So him being the possible backup center for the Boston Celtics could do wonders for this squad. But Neemias Queta, a little bit of issues with some fouling, a little bit of issues with setting his feet right when setting screens, and a little bit of some issues with finishing around the rim in the NBA. We've seen him have multiple opportunities, getting multiple offensive rebounds, but not being able to finish, and those things have to take a little bit of polishing before you can have a guaranteed NBA spot. But as a 15th guy on the roster and kind of sitting at the end of the bench, we've already seen Brad Stevens be patient with bringing guys in, but I truly think he can be impactful than most of the guys in free agency, or even some possible guys that the Celtics have been rumored to want. We'll be discussing some guys like that as well, but the Celtics have been interested in a plethora of names. We've heard the possibility of the Blake Griffin return. We've heard a possibility of an Isaiah Thomas return, and even though those would be fun, and those would be, just nice veteran locker room presences, in my honest opinion, I don't think either of those guys can contribute to quality NBA minutes for the Boston Celtics if a guy like Luke Kornet or Kristaps Porzingis or even Al Horford were to have some lingering issues with their injuries going into the playoffs. I think a guy like Neemias Queta is a bigger body, a little bit more sound of a body for the NBA, and he's built for that. Compared to some other guys as well that we have talked about, like Mike Muscala, who's a solid big, but I think he's more of an offensive big, and the Boston Celtics already kind of have that in Kristaps Porzingis. Another guy that we can mention is Ish Smith, who was on the Denver Nuggets last year as a nice veteran point guard. He can bring that veteran leadership and that veteran point guard experience for the Boston Celtics as well. But personally, I don't know if Ish Smith is going to make his way to Boston, as I don't think that the Boston Celtics are very highly coveted on bringing in talented point guards. I think they're looking at that wing position. I think they're looking at that center position, maybe for some additional depth. But Ish Smith could be a nice veteran guy to bring in as well. Want to look at some more guys? Harry Giles, obviously waived by the Brooklyn Nets, has some ties to Jayson Tatum and him as they were best friends at Duke, but also has had some injury history. And I feel like if Jayson Tatum really wanted Harry Giles and the Celtics had interest there, he would already be on the squad with helping out Jayson Tatum because he's so close friends with him. Want to dive in and talk about another potential project big man, Neemias Queta. We've seen Neemias Queta be that G League MVP from the Sacramento Kings. Here's another hidden guy from the Kings that is a big man that just got waived. Possibly Brad Stevens could strike and maybe clock a deal for Neemias Queta. But in all honesty, I think that all of these guys, Giles, Neemias Queta, they're all waived and all in free agency for one reason. In all honesty, they're all right guys, but they're not those difference makers. They're not those X factors. But Neemias Queta truly is, because we've seen him grow and see him look like he can be that for this Boston Celtics squad. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, but I'm a big believer in the Portuguese man, and I think that if he stays on this Celtics squad, he truly can be that backup center for this Boston Celtics, being a fantastic rim protector, getting those offensive rebounds, and being just a high energy, high volume guy at shooting at the rim. If he finishes at the rim a little bit better can find his way with his footing defensively, setting screens and working down low, I think he could be a true difference maker. Now, honestly, does that mean we might wait to next season to see Neemias Queta get some more extended run? That is a definite possibility, as I think this year, if he is converted as the Celtics' 15th guy, he'll just be used as an extra depth piece, obviously behind Kornet, obviously behind Tillman. But I think in the offseason, if he wants to continue to grow and continue to become a better player, I truly think he can transform into this backup center that the Celtics really want and could have a fantastic offensive rebounding big that could do wonders for them. Having Kristaps Porzingis, having Al Horford, possibly even having Xavier Tillman next season with his bird rights, alongside Neemias Queta, Luke Kornet, and Oshae Brissett is fantastic for this Celtics squad, as they have a deep rotation of front court players, and front court players that can basically do a little bit of everything. Obviously, Horford and Kristaps Porzingis being the more talented of those guys, but Xavier Tillman learning some stuff from Al Horford and being, similar body type of Al Horford, maybe his game can translate to that. And with Neemias Queta also, being a great defensive big, maybe he can learn some stuff as well from Al Horford and Xavier Tillman to polish his game as well. In all honesty, I think that Brad Stevens' best move and patient move is to wait for Neemias Queta. We obviously know his game clock for his two-way deal is coming to a short soon. I believe it is tomorrow, March 1st, so we'll have to wait and see if this truly gets done, but I think this is the smartest move for the Boston Celtics. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that Neemias Queta should be that 15th roster spot, or do you think it belongs to someone else? And if so, who do you think deserves that roster spot? Comment it down below. Like I mentioned, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.